Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Sun conjunct the Ascendant in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, Sun conjunct the Ascendant in the natal chart. One way it may be expressed, there may be very intense focus, which is the Sun, on new beginnings, new projects and endeavors, which is the Ascendant. If the Ascendant is in Taurus, say, those new beginnings may include, it could be carpet laying, geology, could be doing something with banking or finance, architecture, agriculture, gardening, cultivation, things connected with the earth in general. Could be doing something as a pawnbroker. Let's say if the Ascendant is in Gemini, that could be manifold things. It could be doing something, with communication, something that involves assimilating and disseminating information, doing something with manual dexterity, such as auto or refrigeration mechanics as some examples. Now, this aspect may also manifest in, shining the light, so to speak, which is the Sun, on vitality, which is the Ascendant. If the Ascendant going back to Taurus as an example, the person's energy, there may be much latent energy behind very strong powers, of endurance. And the thing is, if the Ascendant, say, though, is in the zodiac sign Cancer or Pisces, you've got to factor that in, because even though the energy may be abundant, may be, higher to some degree, when you have this aspect, the thing about that is, Cancer and Pisces are low vitality ascendants, so you've got to factor that into the equation. Now, another thing too is that, again, the energy can be an exorbitant energy, level. But another thing too, about how this aspect may manifest in the natal chart, it could be where the ego, which is the Sun, may be strongly connected and tied in with one's appearance and physical body. Let's say if the conjunction is in Leo as an example, this is really where the ego can really be strongly, tied in with one's, appearance and how they look. And the thing too is that the Ascendant is in Virgo as an example. It could be, being really meticulous, in how one appears, could be strongly tied in, with one's ego, being very neat, dressing almost perfectly to the T, in terms of having the very, neat appearance, and even being a good physical health just in general, because Virgo is that healthy sign. Now, sign connected with health. And but anyway, the next thing about this aspect, that people that are prominent in one's early childhood and a grandparent, which is the Ascendant, may play more of an integral role in your life, which is the Sun in general. And if you have, let's say, the Ascendant, is in Libra. Those people, the people prominent in the early childhood, and a grandparent may actually be Libra, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply embody, the characteristics, of that sign. It could be, where those people may be very charming, cooperative, peaceful, tactful, diplomatic, equitable, refined, as some examples. And the thing too is, this Sun aspect can also be about putting, a lot of attention, which is the Sun, on one's environment. If you have, the Ascendant in Taurus, it could be an environment that's very peaceful and tranquil. Or if, Aries, The ascendant is an Aries. The environment and atmosphere may be a little bit more, acerbic or aggressive and combative. One where there may be, a little bit more, disputes and, arguments and, things of that, nature. And the thing about, this aspect as well, and as far as the appearance go, the person that has people that have this aspect, may have a little bit more, of a rosier glow, to the face, the more of a ruddy complexion maybe, than otherwise indicated in the natal chart. So, and another thing about this aspect too could be where, the biological father and dominant males in one's life, which is the sun, may figure more prominently in terms of the, the outer demeanor and how you're projecting yourself. So I would say, whether these people may be more influential in that, or just in general, or if the connection with them is more positive, then, you may be projecting more of the positive qualities and characteristics associated with your ascendant. But if the energy, the connection is not as good, then it may indicate that you may be projecting more of the negative qualities and characteristics associated, with the ascendant. Say if the ascendant is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, and if the connection is good with those people that I mentioned, the biological father and dominant males, then you may be projecting more of the sympathetic, nurturing, caring, dedicated and devoted qualities of the Cancer ascendant. Now, if the connection was more adverse and negative, you may be projecting more of the clinging, the dependent, overly emotional, overly sensitive to criticism and ridicule, those kind of qualities. The thing about this is, you may project also, though, a rather sunny and warm disposition if you have the sun conjunct the ascendant in a natal chart. And the thing is, you might be very, cognizant and conscious, which is the sun, of how you're perceived by others, which is the ascendant, how you come across to others in general. And, if the ascendant is in Scorpio, as an example, you may be someone that's perceived as very resourceful, resilient, passionate, a person has a lot of willpower, empowering, transforming, and you may be very well aware of that, more so than most people on average. And also too, if you have the sun conjunct the ascendant in a natal chart, the true self, which is the sun, and the outer self may be strongly connected. And especially, if the sun and the ascendant are in the same sign, which would be true, I would say, in most cases. Now, you can have an out of sign conjunction. I mean, let's say that you could have the sun, say, in Gemini at 28 degrees and a Cancer ascendant at 1 degree. That would be an out of sign conjunction, as an example. And the thing about this too is, the strong, there can be a very strong, confidence. So let's say the confidence and, I should say confidence and the attention. See, the sun is connected with our confidence, and I would say the attention as well. You might come across to others as that more so on a first impression, even if, let's say, you have, your sun or ascendant in a more, reticent, humble sign like Virgo. And the thing too is there may be, physical, related, the issues, which is the, I should say, there may be, the ascendant is connected with the physical body. So if you have the sun conjunct the ascendant in the natal chart, I would say there could be a little greater propensity for physical related issues with the heart, the spine, and the upper back, because that's what's associated with the sun. And even the left or right eye depending on gender, because the sun is connected with that as well. Now, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.